Hey guys, it's Shireen, aka Halal Girl New York, and welcome to the channel. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe, and if you're not new, then thank you so much for coming back. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Okay, you guys, the day is finally here. Tomorrow is July 1st, 2020, and it marks the first day of my residency, and I just can't believe it's here. I figured I'd just flick on the camera and talk to you guys about how I'm feeling, how things are going, and the fact that I'm starting my very first job as a doctor in the middle of a global pandemic. Those of you who don't know, I'm from the UK. I graduated from King's College London, and I spent 2019 doing some research in all of my USMLE exams. In March, I found out I matched in New York City in internal medicine residency, and tomorrow I will be starting my very first day. So that's a little life story in a nutshell. But you can check out my other videos. I'll link them in the description box if you want to find out more. I remember when I first mentally kind of accepted that I'll be shifting my whole medical career from the UK to the US. This day felt so far in the future. It didn't even feel anywhere close to being achieved because I had so many hurdles, so many obstacles, so many exams to get to where I am now that I never even believed or imagined that the day would actually come. I wouldn't have got here without God's blessings and also without the help of my amazingly supportive husband, who has been my absolute rock and support and guidance throughout this whole process. So you guys, tomorrow I will be starting my 3-year journey in residency. Everyone tells you that residency are such formative years in your life. You enter as one person and you leave as a completely different person. It's just making me even more excited about starting this journey. There were so many tears and so much stress to get to where I am now that I feel so lucky and just so ready to start. I am feeling a little bit overwhelmed to say the least. We are still in the midst of a global pandemic. New York City is just entering phase 2. Everyone thankfully is still wearing a mask and the case numbers have declined. So hopefully this does mean that there aren't as many coronavirus patients in the hospital, but we still don't know what the best treatments are. We still don't know what the best route to take is. So it is honestly really interesting starting out my career in the middle of this brand new pandemic, and it's obviously scary to say the least. Even though my mum, dad and one of my sisters are doctors, thankfully they're all safe and have not yet had coronavirus, and my brother is a dentist and he also has not had coronavirus so far. Inshallah, I'm praying that they stay safe. It has affected my family in other ways. We do know some people in our community who have unfortunately passed away from coronavirus. I am naturally feeling a lot of different mixed emotions. I'm excited to be able to be where I'm needed most. I'm hoping that I still stay safe, and I'm also just praying for the safety of those around me. So naturally, starting out my career in this time is something that has made me feel a little bit anxious. But interestingly, coronavirus has already affected my residency in a number of different ways. I got ACLS and BLS trained about a week ago, so I got certified for that because obviously as medicine interns we will be on the life support team when it comes to patients who are coding. I have had a lot of life support training while I was in medical school and we've had exams on those, but now that I'm actually going to be the healthcare provider, it just hits differently. So when I was at my ACLS training, I met some of my co-interns and it was really interesting because we could only see each other's eyes because obviously we all wore our masks the entire time. So we got to know about each other, but we didn't even know what each other's faces looked like. So that is going to be interesting when I start residency tomorrow because I'm not even going to know how half of my residents look. So there are actually quite a few international medical graduates or IMGs in my internal medicine residency program. Some of our co-interns are still trapped in their home countries. They haven't been able to make it into the United States because of certain travel bans and travel restrictions. And I just think it's so crazy because everyone worked so hard to get to where they are now, and then this happens and they're literally trapped in their home countries and aren't going to be able to make it to New York for the July 1st start. One of our co-interns is from China and there's currently a travel ban on people from China entering the US. He's literally a doctor trying to come to New York to help serve the patient population here, and he's banned from entering the country. And that's just another pretty extreme way that COVID-19 has affected our residency already. Last week I had my first day of orientation and of course that was on Zoom. So that was really interesting as well that my first orientation was on Zoom. It did make me feel a little bit like part of the work from home crew who log on to Zoom meetings all the time. So I was like, do I go smart on the top, pajamas on the bottom? Do I just do full casual or full smart? So I still kind of got ready and woke up a little bit early to kind of look presentable and put on my scarf and everything. So that was really nice because I got to actually see my co-interns' faces. And we went round and introduced ourselves and said something fun. My fun fact is always that I have a twin sister. It was really nice to see everyone's faces and that got me even more excited about starting residence. We met all of the program directors. They gave such a warm welcome and really reassured us that this is going to be a really exciting time in our lives and they're here to support us and look after us, and I thought that was so amazing. So usually the first month or so of residency is when you get to really bond with all your co-interns, get to know them, get to like learn more about them. There's usually quite a few social events, and because of coronavirus, We don't know when we'll be able to meet at each other's apartments, which is kind of like the natural go-to place. Thankfully, it's summer, the weather's been great here in Manhattan, so we might be able to do a few park picnic situations, but that is just another barrier to kind of actually getting to hang out with everyone and getting to know them. So that was just a little bit about how I think the pandemic has and will affect our residency a little bit. I have two main emotions right now as I start my residency. One is excitement, as you can probably tell from my face, but the other is anxiety. I'll be honest, I am nervous. I've always heard everyone talk about imposter syndrome, where you feel like you don't really belong in the place that you are or you're going to be. For the first time in a really long time, I'm actually understanding what people meant by the feeling of imposter syndrome. And I found my mind wandering to different scenarios. You know, what if I make a mistake, or what if I don't know how to treat X or Y or Z? I didn't even realize that I had this low level background anxiety about starting this job. But I would like to think that it's normal, and I have spoken to some of my friends who are residents and they said it's totally normal for everyone to feel that way when they're starting anything new. You're finally kind of moving away from like a passenger seat to a driver's seat. And I will have my senior residents and my attendings, so I feel like I will be well supported, but naturally there is going to be that anxiety and that kind of disbelief that you're finally in the driver's seat. So that's definitely going to be interesting, and I do pray and hope that I'll be able to do the best that I can. So I've talked a bit about being anxious and nervous, and I just wanted to keep it 100% real with you guys and not pretend that I'm super confident and so ready. What made me feel really good is right now there's a trend on Instagram called advice to new interns, and I've seen a lot of residents post their advice, and some of it was really good advice about how to make a good impression, how to prepare for new rotations. I found some of these posts to be really useful. If you are a new intern, I would definitely check out the hashtag advice for new interns, because I've already learned a lot. I did a post on my Instagram recently asking for advice, and so many people commented some really useful advice, and some people even private messaged me some advice, and it honestly meant so much. I really hope that I'll be able to look back on these moments and see what I learned, and then give my juniors some advice too, which is what I've already been doing in terms of medical school posts and study posts. But obviously now I'm starting my journey out as a doctor. It's going to be so different, such a huge learning curve, and I really hope that some of these videos are able to help people, and I really hope that when I look back and reflect, I'll be able to smile and learn something and see how I've changed and progressed and hopefully grown over the years as well. The other main emotion that I'm feeling right now is excitement. I've taken out some of my scrubs, which have been in boxes for the last few months, and I've put them on a hanger, and I'm all ready for my first day of school. And the reality of starting my medical career finally in the US just hits me every now and then. I'm going to be real with you guys, it hasn't been easy making it to this position. I graduated from medical school around a year and a half ago, and I spent this last 1 year or so doing all of my USMLE exams, and it was a long journey. There were so many sacrifices. I missed out on casual hangouts, birthdays, weddings, bachelorette parties, bridal showers, vacations with my family, vacations with my friends. So I do feel really proud to have made it here, alhamdulillah, by the grace of God. I remember when I graduated medical school in London, all of my friends who were in the same year as me in medical school, they all started their first job as a doctor the following month, but I flew to America and just started hustling for my USMLE journey and everything like that. So they all experienced their first job as a doctor way before me, and there definitely were days where I felt like I'd fallen behind because of the decision I made to move my career to the US. And there were definitely days where I felt like I'd fallen behind, or I didn't have like a real purpose because I'd finished medical school but I wasn't practicing as a doctor yet because I was still on that journey. Some people would just make certain comments like, oh, what do you even do all day, or what are you doing with your life? And comments like that they don't realize can be quite hurtful when you're trying super hard to hustle. So there were definitely days where I was affected by people's comments like that, and you're kind of hustling for a dream that you don't even know if it's going to come true or not. So it does affect your confidence, and those words do play on your mind and do make you feel kind of small at times. So there were definitely days where I felt like that myself, and I feel like it just goes to show that sometimes you do have to make big, bold sacrifices and break the mold and do something different to the rest of your friends and family to actually achieve those dreams and goals that you have. You can't let society's expectation of you dictate what you are actually going to do. If you have a dream or a goal or something that's different to society's norms or what everyone else does, it's totally okay to go ahead and chase those dreams and do something different and make a sacrifice. For example, some people quit their job to study for all these exams. Some people like me reject their jobs that they have lined up for them in London to make the move in the hopes that this sacrifice will eventually pay off. So I just wanted to share those rambled thoughts that probably don't make too much sense for you guys. I just wanted to share that to let people know that I know how it feels to be in that kind of limbo phase. And when you get to the other end and you do match in your dream residency and you're about to start, that excitement and that feeling of how proud you are of yourself is unparalleled, and it's so worth it. I just want you guys out there who are watching who might be in a limbo phase yourself, whether you're in medicine or any other career, that it's okay to kind of feel a little bit lost in that time while you're hustling and while you have a goal and a purpose that you're working towards. Just keep working on it, keep your focus, keep your eyes on the prize, and inshallah, hopefully it will work out for you. And if it doesn't, something better will be in store for you. So that was kind of an attempted summary at how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling mainly excited, also nervous, also ready, also proud, also apprehensive, anxious. And if there are any other new interns watching this, comment below, let me know that you're about to start the journey. I'd love to connect with people who are going through the journey with me. If there are any residents or any doctors anywhere in the world who are watching this who have any advice for me, please leave your advice down below. And if there are any people who are still on that journey, like I said, don't give up, keep going, keep believing in yourself and keep working hard. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, it really helps me out. And if you want to join me on my journey through these next 3 years as an internal medicine resident, please subscribe, because I plan on bringing you guys so many more videos and taking you through every aspect of my journey, what I'm learning, what I'm doing, what it's like, my feelings, my thoughts, all of that. I also plan on doing a lot more videos about my transition to the US, what it's like to move to a new country, study videos, medical school, all of that as well. So don't forget to subscribe so you can follow along on those videos too. And if you do have a second, please do a quick prayer for me. Don't forget you can message me and follow me along on Instagram, or if you have any questions or video requests, leave them below in the comments. I read all of my comments and I can't wait to reply to you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.